A key free agent signing for your Denver Broncos just got even better as he became a tenured professor at a university. We get more advanced analytics about how unstoppable Bo Nix was last season in the red zone, why he's going to just absolutely blow those numbers out of the water this season. Also have PFF raving about another position group. What is happening? Am I taking crazy pills? If you're new to the channel, I'm a diehard Denver Broncos fan named Ben, and it helps me in the YouTube algorithm out a ton if you like the Broncos, if you would like and subscribe. Currently, we're in that lull before training camp starts, but gathered together are the best tight ends in all of football, and they're learning from each other's craft. They're learning how to run routes and how to block and all the cool stuff that tight ends do, and it's pretty cool to see that they strip down all of the competitiveness and actually try to help each other get better at their craft. And typically, we've always thought that those were led by Travis Kelce and George Kittle and then Greg Olsen. But what's really neat about this is that we actually get to hear from Brock Bowers. And Brock Bowers dropped a little nugget that I haven't seen anyone else pick up on, but it was just like blaring like an alarm in my ear because in the back of my head, I just keep hearing all the AFC West roundtable guys who hate on Evan Engram, think that he's washed, and think that he's not a good tight end. But listen to who Brock Bowers gives credit to and who he's actually learning the most from, in addition to Kittle and Kelce. See if you pick up on this and why this is just great news.
I learned from Kittle, Kelce.
So learning from Kittle, Kelce, that's what everyone knows.
All those guys. It's just been amazing just listening to them and Evan Engram.
Just listening to them and Evan Engram. So you hear from your own Raiders tight end who had a historic rookie year. Obviously, PFF ranked him as like the sixth best offensive player in the NFL. I think he's going to have a great career. But who is he saying he is listening to and who he's learning from? Travis Kelce, obviously Kittle, and then he says Evan Engram. So I think that is proof that like he is your favorite tight end, Raiders' favorite tight end. Like that is just a fantastic little snippet right there. And he should be because he's not washed by any estimation. Like we are looking at next gen stats. You do not have to go back like a decade to find just historic numbers from him. So this was the last full season he was healthy, which was just 2 years ago, which is like no time. And he had the highest catch percentage when he was targeted at least 100 times. The big knock on him out of the Giants was that he dropped a lot of balls, yet you see the last time he was fully healthy, 2 seasons ago, he caught almost 80% of the times he was targeted, which is just mind-blowing, which means like he didn't have a ton of drops, and a lot of that could be errant passing. A lot of that is also even more wild when you consider he was the biggest target for obviously Trevor Lawrence, and so they could key in on him, and even keying in on him, you could not stop him, and you just see him like blow out the numbers even from Travis Kelce, who had a historic year. You take a look at when in all time going back to 2023, when he lines up in the slot, he has the most reception yards. He is nowhere close to being done, and all the knocks on him like dropping balls are just wild, and that all kind of faded after he got to the Jaguars. You just see him make incredible play after incredible play, and knowing that he is one of the leaders of Tight End University is just even further fact and further proof that this dude is different. We've always known that once he catches the ball, he's almost unstoppable, and he's more of a receiver than he is an actual pure tight end. He doesn't block. Actually, at OTAs, he was lining up with the receivers a lot and working with receiving coaches more than he was in the tight end room. And so I think this is just a signing that is going to age like a fine cheese. And it's going to be absolutely phenomenal to see what he does, because he was one of the best tight ends ever for the New York Giants, and then you're also seeing the Jaguars just painfully saying goodbye to him and saying he's the best Jaguars tight end of all time, and he is now your tight end one, and he's going to make Bo Nix's next season just absolutely phenomenal. Other interesting thing is that we do have Lucas Kroll attending Tight End University, which obviously, like we didn't invite our newest tight end, our 7th-round draft pick, Payton, and so you do see that there is some sort of selection criteria, and so at least Kittle and Kelce and Engram still believe in the fact that that Lucas Kroll is going to be something special. I think in addition to that, just like for a young tight end room, to know that, hey, the guy we went to Tight End University to learn from is actually in our room each and every day to teach us. I think that is a phenomenal asset for Sean Payton and this coaching staff to have, is that like you got a leader of tight ends who's respected by every tight end in the league, and Brock Bowers is even gushing about what he's learning from him. So that's phenomenal. We're also seeing another position group just raved about by PFF, and this is like a new thing for us, because we remember it wasn't that long ago that PFF said we were the worst team in football, or the second worst team, and then we made the playoffs. But one of the things we saw, they already ranked our defense as the best defense in the league. We saw yesterday Sean Payton is their second best coach in the league. Now, this was interesting. This is the linebacking room, and they have the Denver Broncos linebacking room next year being the 11th in football, which I think we would take, knowing what they were last year, knowing that we lost Singleton right away, and we already were down Josie Jewell because we lost him to the Panthers. The thing I love about this is that in the opening sentence of this, it's like right now we have the Denver Broncos ranked 11th because there's a giant caveat of, can these guys stay healthy? We had Dre Greenlaw pop an Achilles in the Super Bowl 2 seasons ago, and we know Alex Singleton had that devastating knee injury next year, but they said if these guys stay healthy, this number will definitely go up. And so I'm loving seeing that and loving just hearing how pumped Alex Singleton is to be back and how surprised he was. This quote came out predominantly orange, or this is a Sports Illustrated article quoting him and coming out and saying that Alex Singleton was absolutely shocked at the amount of loading up the Broncos did this offseason on defense in particular. He said this was already one of the best defenses he'd ever been on, and then they went and got Dre Greenlaw and got Talanoa Hufanga as well, and so this is going to be incredible. Our defense is going to give Bo Nix the ball a lot. And if you give Bo Nix the ball a lot, that's going to be very good for us scoring a lot of touchdowns. Warren Sharpe, a guy I've followed for a long time, does a lot of rankings. I think he's based out of like the Houston area. And he went through and he ranked Bo Nix in the red zone in particular and how he ranked amongst rookies last year. We remember it was a generational class and how good Caleb Williams was going to be and how good J.J. McCarthy were going to be and all of that. And everyone kind of doubted what Bo Nix would be. Well, when you compare him to all other rookies last year in the red zone, he was miles away better than every rookie last year in the red zone. But not just last year, against all rookies of all time, going back to when they started counting these stats in the year 2000. So he had the highest success completion percentage and success percentage in the red zone. He had the highest touchdown rate of all of the rookies who threw enough touchdowns to get that. So not just that he was good amongst rookies last year, but he was good against rookies of all time. And then in addition to that, who had the highest completion percentage of not just rookies, but all quarterbacks in the NFL last year? And who's number 3 on this list? It's Bo Nix. And that's just a phenomenal stat that you give Bo Nix the ball in the red zone, and there are only 2 quarterbacks in the entire NFL who do better than him. And now you have a wild red zone threat in Evan Engram, who is a professor at Tight End University. This thing is all just shaping up absolutely perfectly. And in addition to that, we're getting some bad news from the Chiefs. Love this here is that the Chiefs have, because of how a lot of their money is going to 36-year-old tight end, to a aging Chris Jones, and a lot of money is going to Patrick Mahomes. And so they have had to let a lot of cornerback talent just go. We've covered that relentlessly on this channel. One of the things that they had kind of hoped for is that they were hoping to land the cornerback who was cut by the Green Bay Packers. And what I love about this is the ESPN ticker was reporting here, and then it was sourced by a couple different places, was that the Kansas City Chiefs were desperately pursuing cornerback Zaire Alexander. So this is just great that they took massive steps back, did not end up getting the cornerback that they wanted, and that the cornerback they wanted is probably going to be who knocks them out of the playoffs because he chose the Baltimore Ravens over the Kansas City Chiefs. So anytime Chiefs are taking steps back, we're taking jumps forward. It is just a great, great day to be a Denver Broncos fan, unless you're on Ticketmaster trying to get tickets to the Denver Broncos training camp. So let me know in the comments. I got on right at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. I had my mom on at 10 a.m. Mountain Time and my wife, and all of us struck out. I'm still working a couple connections and hoping to be able to cover it in person and meet some of y'all there. So let me know in the comments, were you able to secure tickets to Broncos training camp? When are you going? What are you most excited to see? Is it the most accurate quarterback in the red zone of all rookies last year? Is it the 3rd best quarterback in the red zone of all the entire NFL? Or are you excited to see this new defense? So much to be excited about. And Broncos country, we've got a lot to believe in. Oh, just hung on the rim. Come on.